Hello everyone and welcome to the RPES King of the Quarter Mile presented by Slide Job Racing Syndicate. Third straight season that we have taken to this event for the King of the Quarter Mile. Currently top of the charts is Jeremy Christensen. Now we're on board here with the 22 of Anthony Villagran. He picked up 2 second place runs last night during RPES Night in America. One in the dirt midget and then one in the 410 sprint car as well. As he got an 11.290 on lap number 1. Put him second quick. See what he got here on lap number 2. It's a little bit slower. 11.291 still puts him second quickest. Now watch last week's winner, Kenny Hoffman, one of the last cars to go out on the speedway. Looks like we had 36 cars in action this evening. So that should set us up for 3 heat races. Kenny Hoffman went second fastest with 11.238. Picked up his 4th career win in the Hinkle Plasma Cutting 360 Sprint Car Series last week at Volusia. It looks like Ashton Mueller here for the 2nd straight week will be your Bloodline Sim Sports Fast Qualifier. So now we'll head into heat race action for round 2 of the 2026 season here with the RPES Hinkle Plasma Cutting 360 Sprint Car Series. Starting on the pole of heat race number 1, presented by Right Rear Racing. It's going to be the 18 of Tony Dominguez out of Kansas City, Missouri. And alongside, out of the Great White North, Ethan Milway in 37. Jeremy Christensen out of the Lone Star State will go 3rd in 16. And Ashton Mueller in the number 3 out of Roseburg, Oregon. We'll start for us. Of course, your Bloodline Sim Sport Fast Qualifier this evening. And last night's winner in RPES Night in America out of Maine, the 43 of Nick Larry. Chase Townstead finished 3rd last night in the 410 show. We'll start 6th. 7th, Josh Slater in 30 will go 7th. 8th, Rick Thompson in the 240. And going 9th, the 83 of Greg Robinson out of Georgia. Michael Tennyson in the 33 goes 10th. 11th, Ty Dickinson. Then 12th is Parker there in the 2 machine. We're going to come to the first Full Throttle Motorsports green flag out of turn 4. Tony Dominguez leads them off there in the number 18 machine. Ethan Milway, Mueller makes it 3 wide. Christensen and Mueller get together. Is it Milway an odd man out there in 37? He's going to tow them. We're going to stay green. Dominguez up front. Mueller now looking to the yellow side. He's looking to go 4th to 1st here in the opening 2 circuits. Not able to do it out of turn 4. Close once again on the inside. We did see when we watched Villagran there in qualifying, he made some great ground on the inside. Both lines seem about equal at this moment. Mueller finally takes the race lead, at least momentarily there off the corner. Halfway home here at the line, and Mueller will lead it. So it's Mueller, Dominguez, and Larry, your top 3. Christensen currently holds that 4th and final transfer spot in 16. Rick Thompson, I believe he started in the 8th position. He's now up to 5th. So we got our first 618 engraving design caution flag. Trying to see exactly what it was for here. appears Josh Slater was involved. Something he was. He made contact there with the number 2. Sent them around. That is because I saw on the ticker there that he got the EOL for that incident. Laps go by very quickly here. A caution laps. Every single time you have to pretty much extend the caution laps. That's just how fast they click by. Of course, Ashton Mueller looking to pick up his first heat race win of the season. And away he goes there off of turn 4. We're back to Full Throttle Motorsports, green flag racing. Nick Larry looked to the inside of Dominguez. Looked at the Saint here out of 4. And he does. He takes the second spot away. So now it's Mueller, Larry, and Dominguez, your top 3. Christensen still holding down that 4th and final transfer spot as they go into 4. Will Thompson have anything on the top, or will Christensen keep it? Close at the line, but Christensen holds on. So it's Mueller, Larry, Dominguez, Christensen, your qualifiers, and Thompson, Robinson, Dickinson, Townsend, Tennyson, and Parker. That was your rundown there in Right Rear Racing Heat 1. Now, heat race number 2. Brought to you by Hinkle Plasma Cutting. Matt Hinkle on the pole in 52. He was oh so close to his first career league win last night. Dean Reynolds will start to his outside in 79. Great run for him last week at the Volusia Speedway Park. Thaddeus Marshall, a newcomer this week, starts 3rd. 4th, last week's winner and current point leader, Kenny Hoffman in car 1. Then it's Taton Sander, last year's Regal Cup winner in 42, 5th. 6th, Aiden Stoll in the 270. Fred Hoffman in 13 goes 7th. 8th, John Klimowitz III. And it's David Baker, Brody Duscher, Carson Joyce, and Devin Eaker rounds out your field in this one. Once again, 8 laps of distance. 8 laps of distance. Top 4 will move on to tonight's A main here for the King of the Quarter Mile by Slide Job Racing Syndicate. Hinkle out to the early race lead there. As Dean Reynolds fell back, but now we got a couple cars getting involved here. It's now Hoffman and Stoll are side by side for your second position. Hoffman still trying to hold his outside, one of the few cars up front to do it. He's going to try a crossover move here. He will take the lead momentarily. Stoll is going to come with him there in car 39. Stoll going to try to take the lead. Iron just not able to get up in front of him in time. He's going to now slide through there in 4. Hoffman comes back at him. Hoffman still leads at the line. So it's Hoffman, Stoll. Reynolds now peeking to the outside of Hinkle as they now battle for this 3rd spot. Still hot and heavy up front here between the 1 and 39 though, as we come to the 2 laps to go here at the line. Brody Duscher now doing battle with the 79 machine. I don't think they made contact, but he pinched him out there on the back straightaway. Hoffman looks clean free here as they come down the back straightaway for the final time in heat race number 2 by Hinkle Plasma Cutting. Hoffman will take the win. Aiden Stoll in 2nd, 3rd, Brody Duscher in 4th. Going to be John Klimowitz III. Those are your 4 transfer cars. And finishing 5th, Fred Hoffman, Thaddeus Marshall 6th, then Reynolds, Joyce, Baker, Hinkle, Eaker, and Taton Sander. That is your your 12 finishers there in Hinkle Plasma Cutting Heat 2. Now it's going to be your 3rd and final heat race of the evening, presented by the RPES Gaming. Chipper Rooney, your two-time 305 Sprint Car Series champion, making his 129th start in league history. Tonight in 27 goes from pole. Then Josh Whiteman, two good runs, of course, finishing third last week at Volusia, starts second. Gavin Chatham capped the year off with a win at Charlotte last season. He has two career wins at 360 Sprint Car Series. He goes third. Anthony Villagran starts fourth in 22. Joseph Groom picked up his first career win last night, winning the dirt midget portion of Night in America. He starts fifth. And sixth, runner-up last week, Michael Scurring in 07. Jordan Navarro out of Sacramento, California in 96 starts seventh. Then Kevin Goodall in 29 will go off eighth. Ninth will be Zach Attack Good in the 118. John Klimowitz Jr., of course, is John Klimowitz III just transferred through in the last heat race. Robert Puckett making his season debut in 45. And Dylan Brandon in 59 will tag the tail of the field starting 12th. Once again, this is the third and final heat race of the evening, as we had 36 cars in competition here at the Lima Land Motorsports Park. Top four will advance out of this one, and we'll have two B-mains after this. As Rooney leads us off to the Full Throttle Motorsports green flag. Whiteman and Chatham, that is your top three. Scurry makes it quickly up to the sixth spot. He is now in a transfer, at least momentarily. Villagran going to give him a little bit of a love tap. It's now Whiteman going to be spun around here. They kept it going, though. At least I'll say at the moment they were keeping it clean and green, but we will get our first 618 engraving and design caution flag of Heat 3. Of course, it all starts there with the kind of all starts at the 24 getting involved there. And 99 just gets into the 24 and everyone else stacks up behind him. It's kind of all what started that incident. Obviously a lot of cars end up being involved in that one. Sort of just the nature of racing at a track like this when it's a quarter-mile track. Very easily to get caught up in incidents. Just like that, when someone gets turned around in front of you, not many places to go without getting back into them. As iRacing Pace Truck peels the infield, we're back to green flag racing. Of course, that was the start that Michael Scurry needed, as he started sixth in this one. He is now looking to the inside of Rooney for the race lead in RPES Gaming Heat 3. We get our second caution flag, though, here in the early goings. I at least think that Joseph Groom was involved somehow. At least appears that way based on my, I'd say based on my graphic system, it seemed that way. Yeah, Groom just gets in there a little too hot and ends up getting into the Puckett car. It was kind of out of control. It almost seemed like there, but nonetheless. Those two will head to the back of the field. We'll get back underway here momentarily in RPES Gaming Heat 3. Should be 1 to green here at the line, I believe. But been tough getting going here in Heat 2. Two early cautions. I believe we only had one previous caution on the evening. That was at the beginning of Heat 1. Full Throttle Motorsports green flag is back in the air. Skirring once again giving it all he has up front. He's going to go through a slide job here. Parks it right in front of Rooney. Gets into him. Sure, that'll probably bring out a caution flag. And it does. Obviously, we saw that one live. We'll try to get a better camera angle out of here. Yeah, obviously, he pulls through there. Rooney probably had no clue that he was coming through. And since that's one of those angles where it's tough, he tried to pull it back down, but I think it was too late. And yeah, Rooney just gets thrown up the wall there. Not much he could do after that. Definitely a tough call for the admins to make on that one, I feel like. So the lights are out around the Limaland Motorsports Park. We should be getting back to racing here when we get to the start zone in turns 3 and 4. Green flag is back out for Skirring. Skirring and Whiteman is your top two. Goodall now in third, and fourth is Villagran. They're in the 22. Dylan Brandon, after a couple of these incidents here, now worked his way up to 6th. Now Gavin Chatham has made his way outside the transfer spot. Goodall momentarily was in 2nd. Whiteman fighting for his life there on the top side. As we come to the checkered flag, it's going to be Villagran, Whiteman, and Goodall in your final 3 transfer spots. Out front, Michael Skirring picks up the win here in RPES Gaming Heat 3. Chatham, Brandon, Navarro, Groom, Rooney, Puckett, Klimowitz Jr., and Good will all have to try again here in one of the 2 B mains coming up. All right, now we got our 10 lap. Yeah, our 10 lap Shaggy TV B main. First one of the evening. Rick Thompson will go from the pole in 2:40. 99 Gavin Chatham to his outside. Then it's Thaddeus Marshall in the 8:30. 67 Ty Dickinson goes 4th. 5th will be Jordan Navarro in 96. And 64 Carson Joyce in 6th place. 7th Michael Tennyson. 8th Jimbo Rooney. 9th, Matt Hinkle in 52. Then 30 of Josh Slater rolls off 10th. 11th, John Klimowitz Jr. in 34. And then 12th will be the 42 of Tayton Sander. We had 12 cars in from the heat races action this evening with only 3 heats, so top 5 will advance out of each of these Shaggy TV B mains. So we'll take the top 5 out of this one. We'll take the top 5 out of the next one as well. All right, still a lot of fast cars in this one. With obviously got guys like Rooney who led a couple laps in our heat race. Now be mired back in traffic here in the B main. Obviously, he only has to make up 3 spots though, since he starts in the 8th spot. But here comes the field. Rick Thompson leads in the turn 1. See one there in the back, climbing the wall early. Now it's Thompson out front. He's going to lead lap 1 here at the line. Chatham is running 2nd. Third, Thaddeus Marshall. Got to say, that is a beautiful paint scheme on that 83 machine. Ty Dickinson currently battling with his teammate. These two just continue to show that they cannot get off one another. As Navarro and Dickinson in the Pavement Ignition Series last week, the B Main last week, every single race that they've raced with Reigel Promotions over the last week or so, they've been racing side by side against one another. And the best part is they're teammates. But we get a 618 engraving and design caution flag. As Carson Joyce, looks like he is the one involved in this one. I'll see if I can get a better camera angle, but I don't think they made contact there. If anything, it might have been net code, but 64 was coming down off the wall, 42 was coming up. Neither one, I think, thought they were going to be there, and met together. 64 to the wall. Yeah, speaking though about Ty Dickinson and Jordan Navarro, I mean, Navarro's got the best of them. 2 out of both times last week. Finished 1 spot ahead of him. Of course, Navarro made the race at Volusia, and Ty Dickinson did not, as he was the first man out in the B Main last week. Field comes to the Full Throttle Motorsports green flag. Thompson back up to the top shelf in 24. 99 at Chatham goes to the low side, going to try to putt around the tires. Saw quite a few drivers last night have some problems with those tires, notably Matt Hinkle. He was well on his way to the dirt midget win, but then he got into the tires three separate times. But right now it's working out for Gavin Chatham. He's going to take the race lead here. Thompson's not going away there on the top side in 240 though. He's going to gas up and see if he can get it back around him, and he does. He will lead the lap. 3 laps to go at the line. Rick Thompson back to the lead. .618 engraving design caution flag for slowing Tate Sander there on the front stretch. iRacing is always going to throw that caution when someone's in the, slowly on the front stretch there. And 96 was just there, and 42 kind of ran into him. And that was his own demise there in the 42. Turns it around and ends up bringing out the 618 engraving and design caution flag in the first B main. Full Throttle Motorsports green flag is back in the air. Ty Dickinson currently in the 4th spot. 5th and final transfer is currently held by the 27 of Jimbo Rooney. Matt Hinkle there, man we spoke about earlier in the B main. He is now running in 6th in the 52 as Rooney makes contact with the wall. Navarro is around at the back. Who got to the line first? I believe Rooney did, as we got all kinds of contact after the finish is over. Your final results here, though. Rick Thompson, Chatham, Marshall, Rooney, and Dickinson, your 5 that transfer through. Hinkle, Sanders, Slater, Tennyson, Navarro, and Joyce. And Clemowitz Jr. also will have to try again next week when we head to Eldora Speedway for the granddaddy of them all, the King's Clash, the 3rd annual event. The 2nd Shaggy TV B main of the evening will go this way. Fred Hoffman out of the Empire State in 13 will go from pole. Then the Peach State's Greg Robinson will go second. And third, Dylan Brandon in the 59 machine out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then going to his outside, the Full Throttle Motorsports entry out of North Syracuse, New York, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Then Chase Townsend out of the Keystone State in 720 will go fifth. Sixth, last night's winner, Joseph Groom in car 11. And David Baker, the lone Australian in the field, goes seventh. And eighth is Parker in the 2 machine out of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And Robert Puckett out of Lavaca, Arkansas in the 45 goes 9th. 10th, Devin Eaker in the 960 out of Kokomo, Indiana. Ethan Milwain out of the Great White North in 37 goes 11th. And Fremont, Ohio's Zachary Good rolls off 12th in the 118. Once again, 10 laps of the distance. Top 5 will move on to tonight's A main here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Once again, you are watching the RPES King of the Quarter Mile presented by Slide Job Racing Syndicate. Field rolls into turn 3, and Hoffman will decide when we go back to Full Throttle Motorsports Green Flag Racing. Hoffman out to the early advantage there in the 13 machine. Robinson going to roll the inside. Reynolds up top. He struggled with that outside retaining wall last night, getting into it many times. So we get a caution flag here early in B main number 2. Looks like Robert Puckett may have been one of the cars involved. He gets it sideways there. And yeah, Milwain gets involved in a car that just ghosted out of nowhere. I believe that was, that was the 118 of Zachary Good that ghosts back in. Kind of a slow developing caution, if you will. All sort of started there with the 45, obviously getting sideways there in turn 4. 37 just had nowhere else to go. So last preliminary action of the evening. After this, we'll have the RPES shop warm-up session. I'd imagine with the track state, we will not run a whole lot of time in that one. We should advance, I would say, within a minute or two of that, straight into our 40-lap main event for the evening. Hoffman once again gets out to a good advantage there in the 13 machine. Robinson is second, Reynolds is third, fourth is Townsend in the 720 as those two are on the top side. Your top two are running the low side of the speedway. Reynolds makes quick work there of Robinson. Now he sets his sights on Fred Hoffman off the corner. He's going to be right on his tail tank as they enter in turn 1. Reynolds and Townsend following suit as well. They have something cooking there on the top shelf. Reynolds is going to lead the lap there just barely by a nose. Now they're going to be 3 wide here as they come off of turn 1. Turn 2. Still 3 wide as they go through 3 and 4 as well. Who is going to lead the lap? It's going to be Reynolds in the 79. They continue this 3 wide battle. Now there's going to be a breakup as now Reynolds is finally going to clear your second and third place runners. Hoffman now switches lines as now he has that top side available to him. See if he's able to get back in the fight for the race lead from Reynolds. Townsend runs third. Parker now back and fourth. Fifth and final transfer spot, barring mistakes, should be for Greg Robinson. So Robert Puckett there was slowing on the inside in turns 1 and 2. But white flag is out now as Townsend and Hoffman make slight contact there. Both keep it going. Now we head off into 3 and 4 for the final time. Dean Reynolds going to take the win. Townsend going to finish second. Third, Hoffman. Parker finishes fourth. Fifth is Robinson. Those are your 5 transfer cars in tonight's main event. Rest of the grid goes this way. Groom, Milwayne, Baker, Brandon, Eaker, Puckett, and Good. All your non-qualifiers this evening. Once again, this is our RPES shop warm-up session for the evening. It's set up for 5 minutes, but I doubt we're going to run all 5 minutes. Probably only about a minute or two, I'd assume. Then Benjamin Wirt, our league admin, will advance to our 40-lap King of the Quarter Mile by Slide Job Syndicate. We've only held 2 360 Sprint Car Series events in league history at this speedway. Those winners, Caden Berry and Ernie Williams Jr. We have not been here since November 11th of 2024, so it's been quite some time. Neither one of those drivers are here this evening, so we're guaranteed to see a new winner at Limaland Motorsports Park with Regal Promotions Esports. Without further ado, though, we are now ready for tonight's starting lineup here for the King of the Quarter Mile by Slide Job Syndicate. Starting on the pole, the number 3 of Ashton Mueller. He set 2 Bloodline Sim Sports Fast qualifiers this season. And Kenny Hoffman, last week's winner, starts outside the front row. Obviously made a lot better starting spot than last week as he started in the back half of the top 10. On track to his race win. Michael Skirring, second in points right now. He starts third. Nick Larry runs fourth. Fifth, Aiden Stoll in the 270. Anthony Villagran runs sixth in the 22. And it's Tony Dominguez out of Kansas City, Missouri in the number 18 machine. Brody Duscher in the 35 starts eighth. At ninth, out of Olean, New York, the 24 of Josh Whiteman. Jeremy Christensen out of Texas in the 16. Runs 10th. 11th, John Klimowitz a third. Kevin Goodall in 29. Rolls off 12th. Then Rick Thompson 13th. 14th, Reynolds. Then Chatham 15th. Townsend is 16th. And 17th, Marshall. Then Hoffman, Rooney, Parker, Dickinson, and Greg Robinson rounds out your 22-car starting field. So now you can see the field is assembling in the Victory Fuel 4-wide salute. Round 2 of 7 on the 2026 calendar for the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Car Series presented by Hinkle Plasma Cutting. We had a great field here tonight of 36 cars. We had 37 in week 1, 36 in week 2. Definitely a great car count so far this season. I expect the biggest car count of them all next week when we head to Eldora Speedway for the biggest race of the year for the 360 Sprint Car Series, the King's Clash, presented by Roy's Graphics. Let us know who you think will pull off the win here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park. Who is going to be the king of the quarter mile? We will find out next time around. So we're about to go 40 laps of racing here at Limaland. Once again, only the third time in series history that we have graced the high banks of Limaland Motorsports Park. Ashton Mueller has never won a race with our series. Kenny Hoffman, of course, won last week and has 4 career wins. That is your front row. We're going to wait one more time around so we get time to talk about some more people. Nick Larry, of course, in 43, runner-up last year in the series points. And picked up his first career league win last night in the 410 race. He's never picked up a 360 win, though. He would love to add that to his resume. Michael Skirring was oh so close last week in 07 as well. We're about to find out who's going to win, because it is showtime here at Lima Land. Three, Ashton Mueller rips the top there. He leads down the back straightaway. Larry and Skirring side by side, Stoll right behind him as well. Mueller leads lap 1. 1 in the book, still 39 laps left. Hoffman hot on his heels, so is Larry. All your top 3 all on the top side. Skirring the first one to get out of line. Stoll going to be on his outside as they go into 1. Larry, big lick in the wall there in turn 2. That allows Skirring to be able to get back up in line. As you see, the top side is where you want to be up front. Obviously very scary and sort of sketchy to run that close to the wall. Now Stoll, I think, is size of a move here, and he does. Slide job incoming. Not enough momentum, though. Just too much momentum for Skirring up top. He's able to clear him with ease in 07. Ash Mueller still away. Hoffman is not letting him get away very much, though, as Mueller was 3/100ths of a second slower than Hoffman last time around. So they're still just barely outside the 11-second bracket here at Lima Land. Very fast lap times here for the early goings in the feature. Stoll once again going to go for a slider here in 4. He puts it right in front of him. Skirring able to cross him back over. Another slide job coming here at 1 and 2. Stoll going to pull the trigger once again. Slides all the way to the University. He will take the spot and he will clear. Skirring is now, but he gets into the wall there. Skirring had an opportunity, just not able to get it off the corner. Skirring going to try to build some more momentum on the bottom. He's kind of boxed in on the bottom side of the speedway now. Now ''DUSHER almost gets into him there. As we did miss a battle for the race lead there. Hoffman did make a pass while we were watching that battle for the 5th position. So Hoffman now your new race leader over Ashton Mueller. Nick Larry runs in the 3rd spot. Of course, Aiden still now in 4th, and Anthony Villagran rounds out your top 5. As put the 16 of Jeremy Christensen a lap down. See the tail of the field there is approaching very fast up ahead. They should be there within the next 2 or 3 laps. Gavin Chatham work on the inside. He is now working on the 07 of Michael Skirring. As Skirring started in the 3rd spot, obviously, trying to get back in the fight here tonight. As he's been struggling here in the early goings. We get our second 618 engraving and design caution flag. I believe, yeah, that's what I thought. It's a 35 of Brody ''DUSHER. That is the car involved in this one. See, he gets into the wall here off of 4. I'm going to guess he had some broken front end damage and just ends up parking it over upside down here in turn 1. That is what brought out our caution with all the leaders coming, obviously. So that does save Hoffman the trouble of not having to go through lap traffic, as we were going to get there within the next couple laps. Of course, the 2 Tanner Pettit Racing machines up front there, dominating the field to this point. Nick Larry, though, running the 3rd spot. See if he and Stoll have anything for him. Anthony Villagran, I've been impressed with him over the last week or so. Of course, he had 2 runner-up finishes last night at Lima Land, and running up front once again here. Of course, after last week's accident, Michael Skirring was running in the runner-up spot. Still having a good run here, but obviously would like to get up there and finish in the top 5 to keep to be able to cut the deficit down in points lost to Hoffman if he were to win tonight. Back to green flag racing here at Lima Land. We are just before we get to the halfway point in this one. Still 25 laps left. It's Hoffman in the race lead, obviously. Mueller trying to follow through, scurrying now, able to work his way back up to a podium spot, at least momentarily, as Larry now stuck on the inside since he had to start in the P3. Yeah, scurrying now in third. Fourth, Nick Larry, as you see Whiteman and Stoll nearly get together. As Stoll is also stuck on the inside. A couple cars getting together. Everyone keeps it going though. But scurrying loses wholesale positions there in 07. Up front though, still Hoffman. 21 laps left at the line. Still works the inside there in the 39. I swear this guy has a different paint scheme every single time I see him. Nick Larry trying to battle back on the outside there in the 43. Of course, I believe our lone main runner in the series, in the whole entire league. Gavin Chatham from the B main, now running in P6 in the 99 machine. Gavin Chatham's one of those drivers that he has he has up and down nights. He just has some very bad luck, it seems like, half the time. And then he has those nights where sometimes it falls his way. As obviously he has 2 career wins, one at Weed Sport and then one at Charlotte last year. Hoffman though starting to pull away, about 7/10 of a second gap to Ashton Mueller out front. And it's Larry and Stoll running together for the 3rd and 4th spot. Chatham running 5th. 6th is Whiteman. Thaddeus Marshall, the newcomer. I did see he has over a 9,000 I rating though, so he is definitely no slouch, I would say that. As he's now ripping the top there in 83. Milgram has now slipped back to 8th. Scurrying runs 9th and 10th. Is up for grabs here between Hoffman and Chase Townsend and topsides. They're 3 wide there momentarily. Still 3 wide as they come out of turn 2. See, this track is ultra slick here this evening at Lima Land, as it always is. He's now Stoll trading sliders here for the 3rd spot with Nick Larry. Larry comes right back at him. That is now allowing the 99 at Gavin Chatham to reel him in as well. Still going to shoot another slider here in 4th. Comes up in front of him. Larry just barely able to cross him back over. We almost had a 3 wide battle there between the 99. So now he's up to 4th. Now he's going to look for the move here in turn 3 and 4. Still almost gets into him. He's down to 3 wide as they go into turn 1. Gavin has to get out of it. He kind of loses some ground there as Stoll took his line away. As he tries to putt-putt around the inside once again. So we're going to get a 6:18 engraving and design caution flag. Looks like it's going to be for John Klimowitz III. Up just gets into the wall once again. I believe every caution except for one in this feature event has been for someone just getting into the wall by themselves. Which I will say I wouldn't do much better. I would be in the wall half the time as well. Under 10 laps to go in this one, so we will be single file the remainder of the event. Kenny Hoffman, I wouldn't say he's been dominating out front, but he certainly has looked good in this one in car 1. See, Tony Dominguez there in 18, rolling off a Dirt Series Promotions pit lane. Funny enough, Kenny Hoffman has 4 career wins in league history in the 360 Sprint Car Series, and none of them have came at the same track more than once. And that trend would continue tonight if he were able to pick up his 5th career win here at Limaland, as his inaugural win was at the inaugural Kings Clash in 2024. Then he picked up the National Open win at Williams Grove that same season. And last year he picked up a win at Weedsport, which was probably the race of the year. If you haven't watched that race, you need to go back and check that one out. As it's about a 3-car battle through lap traffic. It was pretty insane. And of course last week he picked up the win at Volusia Speedway Park. See if Mueller or Larry has anything for him here in the closing laps. Yeah. Hoffman down the back straightaway once again. So now Chatham looks to the inside there of Larry. If he has anything for him, not able to get it wound up enough yet. Top side momentum just too much for him. He does have it out of turn 2. Bottom is very good in 1 and 2. It's Hoffman, Mueller, and Chatham. That is your top 3 at the moment. Chatham may have it off the corner. He does. He's up to 2nd now. Gavin Chatham at least momentarily has the 2nd spot. He will have it at the line. Now he sets his sights on the race leader of Kenny Hoffman. Does he have anything for him? Hoffman goes down to protect. Now you see everyone's going down the inside. I believe Nick Larry, the only one that stayed on the top shelf. I mean Ashton Mueller actually. As now everyone went down to the low side here. Obviously Chatham right on the doorstep here for the race lead. If he gets a chance to get in there, he will. Hoffman still in the lead. They're going to come to the third-party gaming white flag here. So I saw a big slide job attempt from Aiden Stoll back in the back. Looks like it'll be clear sailing here though. Kenny Hoffman going to pick up his 5th career win over Gavin Chatham here at Limaland. Nick Larry is going to finish 3rd there in 43. Great charge there for Gavin Chatham to come up through the field like that after starting, I believe, at least in the teens in this event. Going to be one of the contenders for a hard charger on the evening. But here is your final results of the King of the Quarter Mile by Slide Job Syndicate. Kenny Hoffman here picks up the win in 1 5th career win for him. Then Gavin Chatham finishes 2nd. Nick Larry 3rd in 43. Then Ashton Mueller, Aiden Stoll, Thaddeus Marshall. Good run for him in his debut with the league. Josh Whiteman finishes 7th. 8th, Anthony Villagren. 9th, Townsend. And then Fred Hoffman finishes in 10th in the 13 machine. Then it's Brody Duscher, Michael Scurring, Dean Reynolds, Parker there in the 2. Rick Thompson, 240. 67, Ty Dickinson and Tony Dominguez. Kevin Goodall, Greg Robinson, and Jimbo Rooney round out your top 20. And then it's John Klimowitz the 3rd and Jeremy Christensen finishing off the field. Obviously, great race tonight here at Limaland. All right, we're going to see. It looks like we have at least 2 of our, well, we have all 3 now of our broadcast waiting room people. We'll get a word with Kenny Hoffman here first. Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
Great way to finish off the race there. Obviously, picking up 2 wins in a row here. Quite an effort for you guys. Was a great 1-2 there for a while, but Mueller ended up getting out of the shuffle there towards the end.
Yeah. Overall, I think both drove a really good race. Ashton definitely had some pace tonight, and that last yellow just kind of really changed everything, and just really wish it didn't happen because I think it would be top 2, which would have been pretty cool for him. Like I said, he started out the night just overall just super strong from qualifying and just ran really good, consistent laps, and just made a mistake, and I was just able to get by. It was a good race. It's Lima Land. I haven't really ran here in a while, so um, it was fun to kind of come back to something different and run it. It's kind of learning as the race went on. It's that last restart. Obviously the bottom came in there, and Gavin almost rolled right by us, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah, we weren't really too good down there, and I was just kind of committed to staying up, and before I knew it, Gavin was there, so kind of didn't really want to block him too crazy, but came across the line with 0.3 gallons left of fuel. So I mean, we were about to run out there, so kind of had to do something. As crappy as it looked. But shout thanks to him for just not driving through me, because he was definitely way better than me on the bottom. It's just the car didn't really like it down there as much as it did on the outside for majority of that race.
Yeah, the bottom sort of just came out alive, especially towards the last, I'd say, pretty much since the last restart, especially. Uh, yeah, like I said, fuel was very close. I know with 40 laps, even at a track like this, it gets very close when you're running the top side that hard. At least we didn't have any yellows tonight. Really, just people getting into the wall, which is sort of the nature of Lima Land. How much are you looking forward to the King's Clash next week? Obviously, you were the inaugural winner of that event.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get another one. Because I think I know I won. Was it you said the inaugural event? So I think the one after, I'm pretty sure it didn't go too well for me. So I want to come back and get another win. And it's just the main goal of the whole season. It's just to win. And if we can't win, then second goal would be to be the first loser. Just obviously it's a points battle. So just want to stay consistent. It's really the main thing. It's gonna throw a curveball next week with the random invert for the heat. So qualifying, just gonna really go out and do whatever I can do. Just qualify to the best of my abilities, and just pray that the wheel is nice to me. And if not, then we'll have to get elbows up and get racing. So yeah.
Well, as always, appreciate you running with us, and anyone you want to thank.
Yeah, just thanks for letting me come out and race, and thanks for putting this league up for us, and all the prizes that are involved when it comes to getting the membership and all that. Just shout out to like I said, you broadcasting for us, the admin team overall. Just it's been pretty solid admin these last two rounds. So huge thanks to you guys, and then of course shout out to Ashton as well. He really ran well tonight after some unfortunate circumstances last week. So good to see him right up there. Just wish we didn't get that yellow at the end. Could have stayed up maybe top three, and maybe even potentially battled me for the win, because I felt like he had a little bit more pace. But and then just shout out to Tanner Pettit Racing and all the guys over there, and Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sport, CD Cinematography, Blake Carrick Racing, and Ethan Johnson and Jordan 𝐏𝐄𝐒 for all the late models help and free speed. And yeah.
All right, we'll see you again next week at Eldora.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, that was your race winner tonight, Kenny Hoffman. Next, going to work with your hard charger, I'm sure, on the evening. If not, it's got to be pretty close. And runner-up, Gavin Chatham. Hey, Gavin, how you doing?
Hey, Andrew, how's it going?
Good. Obviously, great run there through the field for you. Just a little bit too late there at the end, but still can't be upset with a second place run.
It's bittersweet, or however you want to
Yeah.
describe it. Yeah, I'm so stoked to finish second and to have the speed we did, and especially to be up there with Kenny Hoffman. Him being a pro guy and having he always has speed. So being matching with him and being able to race with him is really cool, and it's awesome that we were matching his speed. But at the same token, I felt I could have had him, and he made the right adjustment at the right time, started running the bottom, and I probably played a little conservative there and just rode for second. I could have tried the middle, but honestly, I was so afraid to, because I know that those other guys are right behind us as well, and
Yeah.
I really didn't want to give up the second spot. So sometimes you just gotta take the second place, and but all in all, in the long run, definitely a a huge recovery from last week. Obviously had some struggles last week at Volusia. That was on the driver for sure. So to be able to recover coming here at Lima Land and finish second feels really good.
Yeah, like I said, had a lot of speed. Definitely can be proud of that. And hopefully he can carry it in next week. About an hour from Lima Land, obviously, Eldora Speedway.
Well, we'll be, hopefully we'll have speed, and we'll just be ready to, we'll go from rolling the bottom here tonight to going to ripping the top next week, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be up on the wall at Eldora. So definitely looking forward to it.
Well, is there anyone to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Andrew, and Ben, and everybody with Reigel Esports here that puts these races on, allows us to come out here and do what we love to do and go racing. I just want to thank FTM, Full Throttle Motorsports, Mike Schick, Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Super Dark Car Series, Swan Speed Shop, Chatham Motorsports, Vertex Graphics. Just want to thank all the sponsors, all the support we get for the team. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watch these races. I hope we put on a heck of a show for y'all tonight. It was definitely a lot of fun there in the driver's seat. So I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast and see what it looked like from the stands. And I just want to thank my fans as well for taking the time to watch the races.
Well, as always, appreciate you running with us, and we'll see you next week at Eldora.
Sounds good, Andrew. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too. All right, that was your runner-up. Oh, so close tonight to getting his third career win, Gavin Chatham in '99. Next, going to word with his second straight podium on the season, Nick Larry. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Obviously, two back-to-back podiums. You've been on a roll lately. Obviously, picked up your first win with the league last night. Walk us through your race. Just didn't seem like you had enough speed to really contend towards top, but you were always in the background, ready there. Anything ever happened up front, it seemed like.
Yeah, my car felt decent. I mean, it could have been better. The track was just really one-laned, honestly, but it got going at the end. It had 2 lanes, but at the beginning, I just was really trying to hit my marks on the top, and I just kept hitting the wall, so I had to gather it back together, but I just tried running the top to the best I could.
Yeah,
And
I've always thought the top was. This has got to be one of the hardest tracks to run the top. I've always felt like.
Yeah, the top in 1 and 2 is really weird. Like, it just wants to throw you to the wall for no reason, and then 3 and 4 gets wide on exit, so that wall comes up really fast on you.
Yeah, overall though, I was impressed with how the drivers handled the track tonight. Maybe we had 4 cautions, something along those lines, which never would have expected after the heat races. But still, good night for you. And is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, Caden Bayer Motorsports, Roya's Graphics, Viggy Construction, EW Littlefield, Midmade Builders, C&T Builders, Hussey, Newport, Crafton, A&G, TCL Landscaping, and 207 Sliders.
Well, as always, appreciate you running with us, Nick, and we'll see you next week at Eldora.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that is going to about do it for us here on the broadcast. We appreciate you joining us as always. Tomorrow night we'll be live with the Alabama Gang 150 by Hinkle Plasma Cutting. The NASCAR trucks take to the Talladega Super Speedway. Should be one you definitely don't want to miss. I'm sure we'll have at least one truck upside down. And Sunday we'll have the RPES Off-Road Showcase at the Firebird Motorsports Park. The trucks put on a heck of a show last week. If you've never seen off-road dirt off-road racing, you definitely need to check in on that one on Sunday. Then next week, of course, we talked about it all night. It's the RPES Kings Clash by Roya's Graphics. 40 laps, custom trophy to the winner, and a bunch of other bonuses. You don't want to miss it. Right here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on March 4th.